Shanti. Good morning. So first of all, I'd just like to say that I'm very happy to be able to meet with you like this today. Soon we'll be going down to Shantivan. Many of us have already gone. And you know the gathering's just getting bigger and bigger. So it's very nice to be able to come together in smaller groups and explore together our spirituality, which is really like the breath of our life. Because when we become Brahmins, we really can't be like everyone else anymore. We can't be ordinary anymore, can we? Sometimes I feel it's like, we are fish, but somehow we've learned how to walk on earth and carry a briefcase and wear a necktie, and we think we're humans. God has to come when it gets really extreme and He throws us back into the ocean, and we're so unused to swimming in the ocean, even though we are fish. We cough and we gasp. The whole of the confluence age is for remembering how to breathe. Not like humans, but through spirituality, to live again as thoroughly, beautifully spiritual beings again. Even the subject spirituality, what is that? That's also very beautiful and connected to today's topic. Today's topic is dignity. Do you like that word? Yeah? I heard somebody mention it the other day, and I thought, dignity, yeah. What is that? And it seemed like a very nice way to spend time together, to explore it, to understand its meaning, its primary definition, primary experience, primary expression, its power. Just because it's an attractive word and maybe we haven't used it enough recently. So before I share with you some of the thoughts that I had on this subject, I thought we could start with a little self-exploration. We come in through the back door on this concept. And instead of asking ourselves, what is dignity for me? Instead of asking that, let's ask this. What am I sure is not my dignity? It is not my dignity to what? What are the first 5 things that come to your mind? Take a few minutes to just note this. What definitely is not my dignity at this point in time? 5 things. Note them down. You need another minute? What is not my dignity at this point in time? Okay. Next question. When you think of the word dignity, just what are the first 5 things that come to your mind in terms of associations? What do you associate with this word dignity? Don't think about it too much, just take the first 5 associations to this word dignity by way of exploring what is dignity for me. First 5 that come to your mind when you say the word dignity. Okay? Yeah? Okay? This means yes? This means no? Okay? So if you wouldn't mind finding a partner and sharing your lists, what is definitely not my dignity at this point in time? This is personal. And what are the 5 words I associate with dignity? Find a partner, someone behind you, someone near you, and share your lists. Okay? 3 more minutes, okay? 4 more minutes. It's also right. And 2. You're sharing number 1 and 2. What is definitely not my dignity and what is my dignity. I'd like to give you another question. I'd like to give you another question, and you can continue with your conversations about the first 2. Because, first of all, did anybody discover something surprising when they created this list? Anybody have a surprise, either about what is definitely not or what definitely is? Something surprising or interesting come up? Are your lists similar? No, not similar. Different. So, third question is, working together with your partner, look at the first question and see if you can bring the whole of your 2 lists down to 1 word, which you would both agree summarizes your lists. And then do the same for the second one. So you're 2 people. For the first question, you both have a list. Study it. And if there's 1 word which you feel summarizes what actually is not my dignity at this point in time, and then look at question 2. You both have a list, study them, and have a conversation about what 1 word the whole list could be reduced down to. 1 word which summarizes what is my dignity at this point in time. So have a little conversation about that. Is that clear? Question? You need to find a partner who speaks your language. So maybe get some help. Find some help with a... Is there someone German in the audience who can share with our sister? German participant? German speaking? Yes? You're German? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, let's do the research together. Anybody like to come up? The microphone is here, and share their one word. Or if you weren't able to come up with one word, share from your list. I'd like to hear some of it. Yes, yes, come, come. Microphone is there. Anybody else like to come? We make a little line. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will just answer to one of your question. I will start by the second question. What is dignity? So my partner and I, we have found two words, respect and self-esteem.
Respect and self-esteem.
To
That
define
is my dignity. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And did you have something for what is not my dignity?
We have found greedy.
Greedy. Good. And who are you? What's your name? What country?
My name is Senabu. I come from West Africa, Senegal,
Welcome.
precisely.
Welcome. Yes.
On Santi, we chose for what is dignity, the five word, elevate, honesty, verdadero, true,
Truthful.
truthful, self-respect, and confianza. Confidence. Y the word more nice, most important for us.
What word?
Is integrity.
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 Yeah, good. The one word is
Yes.
integrity. Mhm.
The five word that is
Not my dignity.
Elevate. No. Deshonestidad.
Dishonesty.
Dishonesty. ¿Cómo se dice mendigar?
Begging.
Begging.
Begging. Mhm.
Lack of self-respect.
Lack of self-respect.
Lack of self-respect.
Be liar.
What's that?
Be a liar. Lie.
Lying.
And criticize.
Criticize.
One word
It's not my dignity.
is not my dignity. Is dishonesty.
Dishonesty as one word.
Dishonesty.
Great. Thank you very much. And you're from where?
I am from Spain, and two sisters from Portugal.
And your name?
Miguel Ángel. And your
nice.
name?
Sharona.
I'm Shanti.
Yes.
I'm Shanti. For the first question, we define that not dignity comes from body consciousness.
Is that your one word? Body
Yes.
conscious?
Yes.
And what's your list?
Our list?
Mhm.
Okay. A lot of things like, I don't know the word in English, but like fofocar. Gross.
Gossiping. Yeah. It is not my dignity to gossip. Mhm.
And the words that define dignity, like respect, that another group say, honesty, and another things, and the word define that is the soul conscious.
Soul consciousness. So we have body consciousness as the summary of all that is not my dignity, and soul consciousness, which is my dignity.
Yes.
Body consciousness, which is gossiping, and what was the other one? Gossiping and
Honesty, no.
dishonesty, was that it? Yeah. And soul consciousness was, I think, respect.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And your name?
Miguel from Lisbon.
Ah,
Miguel. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you. One more? Yes. So we're beginning to explore this concept called dignity. Yes.
Значит, мы считаем, что то, что для нас, браминов, не является достоинством, это слава, богатство, власть, карьеризм. Ну, когда человек много трудится, чрезмерно много трудится. И мы свели все это к желаниям.
Значит, first task was for all us. What just now, like for Brahmins, is not dignity, just for us. Это Gloria, to have much money, power, to work hard and be proud of this. Sometimes people, oh, I work very hard, I am very special man. And also careerism.
Criticism.
Да, да. И one word for this, we found great wish, maybe better word for this, ego.
Ego.
Да.
Ego.
And second.
То, что для нас, браминов, является нашими достоинствами, ну 5 мы из них, конечно, взяли, чистота, покой, простота, честность, радостность, и все это мы свели к удовлетворенности.
And 5 qualities, what just now for all us, like Brahmin, is like dignity, is purity, honesty, simplicity, but together reality, and joyness, to be joy. И one word for this, это contentment.
Contentment.
Да,
Very
contentment.
nice. Very nice.
No wishes, contentment.
Yes.
Okay, I have all, I found all.
Nice, nice. Thank you. And your name, sisters? Your name? Olga and Marina. Very nice, very nice. Anybody have one other thing to add to the list on what is not my dignity? You can just say it from the audience. If we missed any good ones. Limited. It is not my dignity to be limited. To say why? Why does this have to happen to me? Why do I have to, what? It's not my dignity. What else? What? The weather is cold. In other words, complaining. Complaining is not my dignity. It's true? Yeah. To be full of desires connected to complaining. Not accepting the drama. That's connected to what? Why? Laziness. Not being a detached observer. So if I'm not a detached observer, what am I? I'm caught in the drama. I am reactive. It's not my dignity to be reactive. Reacting. Operating from old sanskaras. As if I didn't even know the difference between my original eternal sanskaras and these man-made ones. Yes, anyone else? Falsehood and? Truthfulness is the opposite, right? Or am I not hearing? Falsehood I heard. Falseness, yes. It is not my dignity. And actually, this is kind of how I think we can sum up all these different aspects of what is not my dignity. It is all the things of body consciousness, as someone was saying. It's all the things which are false to my eternal and original nature. That could be very nice summary. Body consciousness, falseness. And for dignity, what is my dignity? Did anybody have something they wanted to add? What? I'm a child of Baba. I'm a child of Baba. I have a divine character, innately. To be a child of God means I have divinity as my eternal and original nature. Yes, anyone else? Spiritual and? I didn't catch it. Physical. Physical and spiritual nature, is that what you're saying? I can't hear well. Yes, okay, divine, spiritual, yes. For what is my divinity? I mean dignity, sorry. Self-evaluation. Self-appreciation. This is a very interesting thing. To go around not complaining. To go around trusting the drama, accepting. To go around appreciating. This is definitely a wonderful aspect of my dignity. Anyone else? Huh? Altruistic, altruistic, yes. Huh? Coolness, fullness, fullness, yes, very connected to contentment. No desires, contentment, fullness. Whatever I'd been looking for, I've found. Honesty. Honesty with Baba, but honesty towards everyone. Yes. Yes. So what's the one word that sums it up? Anybody else have anything else? Reality. Royalty. Royalty. So like this, we move in through the back door and have deeper understandings about some of the words that Baba uses all the time. Royalty. Yes, this is our royalty. Anyone else? Truthfulness. Positivity is our dignity. Negativity is not our dignity. Sorry? The ability to die alive. This is what we die to. We die to all the falseness. All the stuff which is not part of the original, eternal blueprint. Yes? Listen with your eyes and see with your ears. I never heard of that one before. What I have heard of is think with your heart and feel with your mind. That's also a very interesting thing to think about. Probably means the same. Everything you see, you do not judge. Because you're seeing from your ears. And what you're listening to, you don't listen to. It's like hear but don't hear, see but don't see. Nice. Good. So now we're a little bit more familiar with the concept, dignity. It's not something unfamiliar to us. Sorry? Okay. Our dignity is our truth, the original, eternal sanskaras. Our dignity is the qualities such as peace, purity, love, joy, strength. And definitely what is not our dignity are all the things that you said, all the false things, the things that have come whilst we forgot who we really are, forgot ourselves as divine beings, children of the most divine, supreme soul. So what I have come to feel is when we're talking about dignity, if we really want the ultimate definition, we're really talking about Om Shanti. Translation? Can someone translate what she said? Ability to mold myself. See, it's so interesting to understand that with Om Shanti, I definitely am in that experience of being able to mold myself. I'm able to express all of the things that we talked about. My dignity is this mantra that we repeat all the time, Shanti, Om. Why do I say that? Because if you look at it, what is the primary experience of Shanti, Om? What's the primary experience of that? It is, I am detached. I am separate. I'm not just separate from the anger of this person in front of me or the ego of this person in front of me. I'm not just separate from the difficult situations in front of me, which we know are just scenes in a repeating drama. It's not just that I'm separate from that and I am peaceful, no matter how peaceless all of that may be, but Shanti Om means that I am separate from my own sanskaras of negativity, anger, bossiness. Shanti Om. I, the soul, am peace. Peace is my original religion. And so the primary experience of my dignity is to be detached, separate, yet loving. Separate, not for the purpose of not being influenced, turning away, distaste, but separate for the purpose of bringing love to the moment, to the sanskar, to the person, to the scene in the drama. So, the primary definition of my dignity, Om Shanti, and the primary experience of that, because we want to get a handle on this, detached, yet loving. This is what allows me to be all of these things which we said were aspects of my dignity, because I'm able to separate myself from all these things which are not my dignity, even though they might have become my habit. And even further, I would say, we can sum up the long lists created of what is my dignity by saying the primary expression of dignity might be respect, which covers a lot of things, non-violence, and spiritual generosity. This is really the essence of my dignity. All the things you said are there. But essentially what we're talking about is to, when we say, I'm not going to complain, I'm not even going to just accept, but actually my dignity requires me to embrace. This is respect. I really, really give everyone the right to be who they are. even if who they are is, stuck and with all the false things, the things which are not very dignified. Still, as a fellow traveler on the same journey, compassion helps me understand that what they're going through is what they're going through. I might have gone through it myself at some point. So acceptance, compassion, these are the things of respect, such a primary factor of our dignity. Non-violence, to be critical, to be criticizing, to comment. All of these things we mentioned, to be complaining, to be dishonest, to lie. Who is hurt the most by my lying? Who's hurt the most by my anger? It is myself. This violence, long before it hits someone else, it's hitting me. The violence is, it's killing my beauty, my truth. All the 5 vices, greed, ego, anger, lust, attachment, these destroy my self-awareness, my recognition of my divinity. I'm a child of God, my truth. My Shanti Om reality. This is the violence that we have to completely remove ourselves from. Our dignity is to be totally non-violent, and that doesn't mean passive. Never to confuse subtle, being subtle, for passive. Because so much of what otherwise we get angry about, or we get bossy about, or we get depressed about, can be resolved through subtle efforts. Instead of getting angry or bossy or depressed, there's such inner work that has to be done. Such as Shanti Om, coming into the truth of myself. I am a peaceful soul, which means, first and foremost, I am separate. That's the basic truth of the soul. I'm an actor on stage. I'm separate. And in that being separate, coming into my peace, you just can see, I'm free. I'm free. As soon as I can come back into my peace, which is an original truth of the soul, an eternal truth of the soul, just see, I'm free. I'm free of whatever's been triggered in me in that moment, and I'm free of whatever's going on out there, waiting to influence and trigger me. And in that freedom, I can remember Baba. In my peace, in my freedom, I'm on the same wavelength as God. So I can reinforce my peace. I can receive support, strength. I can enjoy the company, the support. If love is what's needed, I will feel that. These are all such subtle things to be doing inside, but just imagine if this is what I'm doing, and then I come back to my sanskara, the man-made sanskara, or to the situation, or to the person. But now I'm loving, I've got love, or I'm strong, or I'm simply light. The whole thing can be resolved without getting angry, without getting bossy, without getting depressed. But this subtle work is my dignity. I have to do this work. It's not because I'm not angry and asserting myself, or bossy, or depressed that nothing's being done and I'm just sitting there letting it happen. Instead of the false stuff, to be doing this subtle work, this restores my non-violence, an absolute primary expression of my dignity. And then spiritual generosity. It kind of comes naturally. Once I am in my own peace and free, on the wavelength of God, able to take in whatever He is offering, whatever I feel I need, I'm going to be able to offer that to myself and also to the others around me. I'll be able to donate. You know, the spiritual donation Baba's talking about. Donate strength. Donate peace, calmness, coolness. I just had a wonderful experience of that recently, actually, which I'd like to share with you. I was beginning a meeting the other day. It was 9 o'clock or maybe 9:30. And it was going to be a 4-hour meeting. So I was there. And after about an hour and a half, I was called out of the meeting because we had some guests from Israel. I'm from Israel. And we had some guests, and they were to be meeting Dadi. So I was invited to go and be with my guests as they met Dadi. We ended up being with Dadi for over an hour. And from there, I had to come back into my meeting. When I came back into my meeting, I was a totally different person. I was really enjoying the meeting. I had a lot of ideas, talking a lot, contributing. Before I had gone out to be with Dadi, it wasn't like I was negative. It's just that I was thinking, well, you know, it's going to be a 4-hour meeting. I was thinking maybe not to speak too much. There were a lot of people, and surely whatever idea I had would be said by someone else. So I was just kind of quiet, and I was also kind of beginning to look at the time. So such a huge change from before I spent an hour with my guests and Dadi, and after I had spent that time with her. And I realized this incredible energy that I had, this surge of positivity, creativity, enjoyment, pleasure, lightness, this was because of the hour I had just spent with Dadi. Somebody who is completely and totally detached so as to deliver love, full, complete, godly love, unconditionally, altruistically, constantly, always. This is a donation. She didn't even look at me once in the whole hour. She didn't even say anything to me once, but just to be in her presence. I think it's actually one of the reasons we come to Madhuban. This atmosphere so much of the work is done through this kind of donation. This is spiritual generosity. It's what the whole world needs. And this is why Baba talks about, you know, that in the last Murli he mentioned it a lot, even though he's been talking about it in almost every Murli. Where are those sparkly eyes? Where is that happy face? Because even if we're not smiling, but it's the smile of the mind, the happiness of the mind, the work is done, the donation is done. So this is what I mean by spiritual generosity, an absolute primary expression of my dignity. So the power I feel in looking at words like dignity is because unlike words like soul consciousness or the truth, even divinity, we tend to use, along with the word dignity, the possessive word, my dignity. We don't say, It's not dignified to be negative. That, we don't relate to that as much as we relate to, it's not my dignity anymore to be negative. It's so useful whenever we can find ways to help us relate to the incredible greatness of our truth. Because, I really do feel that most of the difficulties we have in relationships, and I really think that's where most of the difficulties are, they're in our relationships. I really do feel that most of our difficulties in relationships would come from this fact that we have forgotten our dignity. We've lost our dignity. Even though Baba uses these words and we would have studied and we understand what soul consciousness is. We would have studied and we understand what is our divinity. What's the truth of the soul? We know Om Shanti. But we don't say my enough. It is my dignity to be accepting, embracing, content. It's my dignity to be non-reactive, to be Shanti. It's my dignity to be the first to bring some calmness into the situation, to initiate some coolness, caring, sharing. This is my dignity. It can become such a powerful reason, motivating force for us to increase our practice of Om Shanti, so that I can separate from the falseness and proceed according to what is true. It's not my dignity to complain, to gossip, to criticize. It's not my dignity. I am lured by that. I am lured. So, in the time that remains, would you like to do a little bit of meditation whereby we can increase the experience of our dignity? Yes? Or would you have any questions? There might be time for both. Does anybody have a question or want to say anything? Yes. Yes. I'm not sure if I heard your full question, but these words you used are very important. Self-sovereignty is definitely a way of summing up the long lists that we could create on what is my dignity. It is the same. It is soul consciousness which allows me to be self-sovereign. In other words, free. To be according to the original blueprint. It is not my dignity to be controlled either by other people, situations, or my old sanskaras. It is not my dignity. My dignity is to be the king, the master, the one who is in charge of the mind, the intellect, the sanskaras, the ruler, the king, the self-sovereign. And then look in this last Murli, it was so interesting how Baba put these together. Self-respect and self-sovereignty. I'd like Daddy to talk about that. But just imagine that my dignity is that I walk around free, and not just free, but donating from that position of freedom, detached from all the negativity, the falseness, and loving. That's the expression, primary expression of self-sovereignty. my dignity starts there. That's actually the journey, isn't it? The journey of becoming again someone moving around in her dignity, in his dignity, is this separating myself, detaching myself, moving away from all the falseness, coming into peace. But it doesn't finish there. That's just the beginning of the journey. I'm not in my dignity, full dignity, when I'm just not reacting. I have to respond. I don't know how that translates in other languages, but it's not, as Baba's pointed out, it's not enough just that I'm not angry. It's not enough that I'm just not hating or disliking. That's the beginning of the journey. But the end of the journey is I actually come around to that spiritual generosity. I am cool and calm. I am loving. I'm light. I'm easy about it. So, with such purity, the real energy of it, not just a fake performance, that you also become that. So that's the journey. Detached, yet loving. And this is the self-sovereign. She's moving around a mobile spiritual museum, donating all the time. Dadi Janki. All of our daddies, actually. Any other questions? Okay, so I'd like to spend a few minutes sharing a way that you might like to experiment increasing your dignity, increasing the experience of your dignity, which means increasing the experience of your self-sovereignty, your inner beauty, your spirituality, your ability to be detached yet loving, your reality of Om Shanti. And in this first step, you need to create an image for yourself. An image. I personally would suggest that you're creating an image of detached yet loving. But if that doesn't work for you, create an image for peace, Shanti, Om. Create an image. That's the first step. And the reason I suggest creating an image is because in the next step, we're going to go for a feeling. And recently I was talking with one brother, and he was sharing with our guests, who are not BKs, some methods for meditation. And he was giving very powerful thoughts, such as, I'm a peaceful soul. I am a peaceful soul. And you just don't allow any other thought to come. And he was saying that we actually ended up in a little conversation, because I know that for me, someone who comes from a very intellectual background and who ends up in the left brain too much, and there's too much thinking, which by the way is also not our dignity, to think too much and worry and get all heavy. But anyway, for me, I have to be careful, because in meditation, if I drive myself with just a thought, I can end up still just with a lot of thoughts. It doesn't necessarily deliver me into a feeling. And this is the point. We have to, whatever is our first step, end up in a feeling in a next step. So some might be content with just the thought, I am detached, yet loving, or I am a peaceful soul. But another experiment is find an image for that. Like moonlight over the lake at night, peaceful. Or Brahma Baba, so loving, and yet in any picture you're watching or you're looking at, it's because he's detached. such an energy about him. So find an image for yourself. And let's start this exercise. I am a very peaceful soul. And bring up your image. And definitely, as you feed your mind that image, open yourself to the feeling it produces. Moonlight over a lake at night. What's the feeling if you were standing there at the shore? Or Brahma Baba, as you imagine him standing before you, so loving and yet so detached. Catch that feeling coming from him. Turn yourself over to the feeling. Let it come from the image, like waves washing over you. Catch that feeling. Let it wash you. Let it enter you. Strengthen the image with some thoughts. Definitely, I am very detached. In order to be all-embracing, loving. But don't lose the image. Come back to it again and again. Definitely, I am peace. I open myself to the feelings of that peace, that being separate, that detachment from everything which is false. I am this. Use your image. Let it create feelings of peace, the living energy when I am detached and separate. I am filled with peace. This is who I am. This peace coming to me, wave after wave. This sense of coolness, calm, detachment from any other kind of energy. This is a wonderful feeling. Truly, the only energy in which my mind can find comfort and rest, and my heart can find happiness. I am. So peaceful, so free. And in that freedom, I remember Baba so easily. And now we are two. Me and Baba. My Baba. My dignity comes from this. Everything he is, I am too. Keep going back to your image. Open yourself more to the feelings. Om Shanti. So I think this kind of experimenting with images that create in you these feelings of peace. And the love that comes with being peaceful. This will definitely help us come back to our dignity. Anybody want to say anything before we finish up? I want to finish up early enough for people to make it to the bus. Yeah? You're okay? Good. Thank you very much. Very nice way of spending an hour and a half together. Om Shanti. Yeah, we say it all the time. Om Shanti. So we really have to go into the depths. It's our dignity.